Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a book review, and the book that I'm going to be reviewing is The Immortal Prince by Jennifer Fallon. So I first heard about this book from a fellow booktuber. His name is Micheal. His channel is Bitten by a Radioactive Book. Every Thursday he does a female fantasy feature where he talks about a female fantasy author, and I definitely think that you guys should check him out, and I will leave the link to his channel and the video about Jennifer Fallon in the description. So this book is actually surprised by how much I liked it, so I'm going to first tell you what it's about and then what I thought of it. In this book there is someone who committed this crime. He actually killed 7 brothers in cold blood, and he is sentenced to death, and in the particular country that they're in, he is going to be beheaded. But the executioner is on vacay, of course. So he can't be beheaded because they don't really have like a whole bunch of executioners that do beheadings, so they have decided to hang him instead. And he's like, no, you cannot hang me, do not do that, please, I'm begging you. Everyone's kind of like, what difference does it make? So what they do is they're like, we're just gonna hang, I mean, you're gonna die anyway, who cares? So they hang him and he does not die, and they're like, okay, this is not normal, this is weird. And so they're like, okay, how come you didn't die? And he's like, I am immortal. And they're like, what? And he's like, yes, I am immortal, I am a Tide Lord. And they're like, oh god, this guy is insane crazy. They don't obviously believe his story, believe anything that he's saying, and they enlist the help of the Duchess of the particular country, because she is she's supposed to be an expert on the Tide Lords. Now the Tide Lords, to the people, they were seen as like thousands of years ago, they were seen as gods. They're not really gods, but they have different powers and different abilities and stuff that is associated with the tide. So if it is high tide, this is when they're prevalent, when everyone sees them, everyone knows about them, you know, during that time. But it hasn't been high tide in 1,000 years, so people have stopped believing in them, have stopped believing in their existence, that they have ever existed. Only like source of their existence is with the Crossi, and the Crossi are these beings that are half human and half animal. So there are canine Crossi, there's feline Crossi, there's amphibian Crossi, and the Crossi say that the Tide Lords created them. Now in this time period, the humans are like trying to come up with, well, where did the Crossi come from? So there's like this whole evolutionary theories and ideas going on. But with the Crossi's mythology, or you know, their beliefs, they're like, no, the Tide Lords actually created us. But once again, nobody believes the Tide Lords anymore. So the Duchess Arcady is listening to the Immortal Prince's story. His name is Kyle, and the more she's listening to his story, the more she's like, hold up, this sounds real, like I think he's telling the truth. And she's like, she can't believe it, because she's like, this is not true, the Tide Lords do not exist. But the more she listens to him and his story, the more she's kind of getting a little bit convinced, because at first she's like, he's a spy from another nation, because they feel like we insulted them, so they have put a spy in our nets, and she's basically trying to prove that he's faking insanity, because who else would say that they are immortal unless they're insane, right? So that's pretty much the premise of the story. That's pretty much what goes on, but it is so cool, and I was really surprised how much I liked this book and how much I couldn't put it down. I couldn't wait to continue reading it, and I breezed through it. It's 500 pages, but I was just like breezing through. I really liked the story, and I really liked how Kyle was talking about his life and how he became the Immortal Prince, and how he was talking about the other Tide Lords. I think if you guys are into mythology, like Greek mythology or Roman, you know, whatever kind of mythology, and I think you would really like and enjoy it, because if you like learning about like the Greek gods and, you know, how they became that way, the different little love triangles they have gotten themselves into, what they have been doing for this past thousands of years and stuff. I think that you would enjoy it. This has a lot of political intrigue in it. There's a whole bunch of different countries, and I like how the author talked about the different countries, and she talks about the differences between them, because I noticed that some fantasy authors can tell you that there are different countries, but they don't really talk about what makes this country different from the other ones and stuff like that, or what makes them similar. So Jennifer Fallon really goes into that, so her world building is pretty good and it's pretty convincing. If you like books about people that are oppressed, I think you would like it. The Crossi are actually slaves, so the Tide Lords created them to be their slaves, to basically do whatever they wanted at their will and their command, and it's like a compulsion for them. If the Tide Lord, any Tide Lord, says to them, "Slit your throat right now," they will do it. Even if they don't really want to, but they are like just compelled to, like it's like they have to do it. So if you like books about people that are oppressed, well, you know, you find it interesting. I don't say you like it, but you find books interesting about people being oppressed and then they want to get out of this oppression or something like that, I think that you would enjoy it and you would like it. So that's my book review on The Immortal Prince by Jennifer Fallon. This is book 1 of a series. There are 4 books in total in the series, and I'll put the names of the rest of the books in the description, along with the Goodreads description and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, especially if you want to see more fantasy reviews, and I will see you in the next video, and I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, amazing day, and bye. See you later.